So what's happening with the band these days? What have you guys been up to?
We're just finishing off like the second half of our record, doing the little bits before we send it away for mixing.
So that's
And
exciting.
then we're playing. Yeah, we're very happy. Yeah, it was a bit of a space between the first two, so we're kind of happy to kind of get straight into it.
Right. All right. Well, let's talk about, because you have a show coming up with the Elemental series, right?
Yeah, we do. This Saturday.
So what could we expect from that?
Yeah. Well, hopefully not too many mistakes. It's been a while.
Nobody notices them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Quite a few new songs,
Cool.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just really excited to play again. I think it was February since we last played, so
That's a long time.
it's strange. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
strange.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling about it, though? Have you guys been practicing or like hanging out?
Yeah. We've been practicing. Always nervous, I guess. But then it just happens, doesn't it? And then it's okay. It's always okay.
Oh, that's good to know. All righty. Yeah, I mean, it's a long time from February till October. So, a lot of new music that we can look forward to. So the new album is kind of in progress. Is there any kind of shift in style, any change that we're going to pick up when we hear you guys?
I'm not sure, really. I feel like it's maybe closer to the first album than the second.
Right.
But we do have real drums on this one. We haven't had real drums on the first two records, so that was really fun.
And what made you decide to do that?
Just a change, really. I guess the process of the first two was a lot of, we kind of find loops we like drum loops, or make loops, edit like kind of drum beats and stuff, and then we build a song from that, which is still kind of the process, but then we go in with me and Paul, who plays the drums, and I'm on bass, and then we kind of track together,
right?
Kind of come up with new things, and so that's been really fun. Kind of just getting the rhythm section a bit more, I don't know, a bit more free, which is really fun.
Cool. And the songs that comprise this new album in progress that we're probably going to hear a lot of on the weekend, when were they written? Tell me a little bit about them.
Most of it was written when we went to Europe last year in like May, and then we did some shows around there, and then we rented like a chateau in, I think it was Normandy, something like that, just kind of like an hour and a half outside Paris.
Right.
And then we were there for about a week, and we wrote probably over half of it there, and then the rest have just been maybe a couple from before, and then just kind of been writing it since we got back.
It sounds very glamorous in a chateau in Paris.
It's essentially the same.
In France, you know.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing, yeah. Well, it was kind of a joke. We kind of laughed about it on our first writing trip. We're like, oh yeah, one day we'll do this, you know, in France. We're kind of taking the piss, and then we were going to Europe, and we were like, shit, should we actually do that? Because it'd be so funny. So we just did it. It wasn't cheap.
That's pretty
it
cool.
was funny.
So when
It was
you talk about writing, though, what do you kind of sit around at a table and write together? How does it work with you guys?
it's all we've got two engineers in the band, which we're very lucky to have. Um, so a lot of it's we're just how most people do it, just sitting around a laptop or a computer, getting things going, a few drinks, and then people just start throwing stuff in, and um, you know, if it's not working, you just kind of move on to the next one, or but if it works, then people just cycle through and put in parts or change
Right.
things, and yeah, I feel like it's kind of the way everyone's kind of going about it now.
Cool. So what is the status of the record at this point in time?
We're releasing it in two parts.
Okay.
We talked about, I guess, the way music is consumed now. There's not a lot of people like listening to records, you know, anymore. It's all playlists, and it's all kind of short attention span kind of things.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to mirror that with our release. So we thought, let's break the record up into side A, side B. There can be
Right.
two EPs, and then once they're both out, we can put that out on a vinyl or something.
Oh, cool.
So side A is done. Yeah. So side A is done, and that's out on the 30th of this month.
So just a couple of weeks away.
And yeah. So that'd be cool to have out.
Yep.
And then side B, we're just doing a few little touches up, and then sending it away. So that should be, I guess, a few weeks away from being done, hopefully.
Cool. Now you've also you appear on a new song by an act called So Below, a song called Fool. So tell me how you got involved in that.
Yeah. That's a new. I met Marty through Aaron, who used to play in Naked and Famous.
Right.
So he's got his own stuff going over there. And then he was mixing and kind of and producing as well another project I was working on. So we kind of bonded over music and sounds and stuff. And then his girlfriend Maddie, she just wanted someone else to sing on it, and then she was just like, "You keen?" And I was like, "Yeah." So
that's all it takes.
Yeah. So that was probably about yeah. It's all fun. That was almost a year ago now, so I kind of forgot about the song. And then she put it up, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, cool."
Very cool. So is it different for you when you're take part in something like that that's not really your own, and you're just kind of adding on to it rather than the leisure thing?
Yeah, for sure. She knew exactly what she wanted, which was really cool.
Right.
I did my parts, and then she sent it back, and she was like, "Can you copy my my diction and stuff more, just the way she kind of sings?" And I was like, "Oh, sweet." I hadn't really thought about anything like that before.
Right.
So just the way you kind of end words and things like that. So that was cool. It was I'd never done that, but yeah, it worked. It worked really well because it suited her vocals and stuff like that.
And so do you have any guests on your own album that's coming up?
Nah, we talked about it, but we were just too lazy to email people.
Right. It's such a stress to hit that send button, I know.
Yeah. I don't know. We just kind of got on with it. I think we want to do something more collaboration based, like a release that's kind of based around working with other people.
Yep.
But I mean, that takes time, kind of figuring out who and like what and just all those things, you know. But that is a plan in the near future.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So once you get the show out of your system, what's the plan next?
I guess we'll do some more. Because we'll get side A out, and then
Right?
I guess you just tour that around New Zealand. I don't know about this Australia thing yet, but
Yeah. Nobody
apparently there's
knows.
going to be a little travel bubble thing.
Yep.
No, it's just it's the thing. We just kind of who knows, just got to get on with it.
I hear you. And so during lockdown, did you do anything
Yeah.
creative at all, or you just kind of sit around and watch TV?
Oh, man, I tried to. It was unlucky timing just because I wasn't feeling creative at all.
Right.
Um, and yeah, I kind of just it was pretty good. I used it to get off some medication that I was on, which was really good.
That's a plus.
Just like a
Because I
yeah,
think a lot of
just,
people went on
just
medication because of it. So there you go.
yeah, yeah. I was just like, here's a stable environment for a month or two. Let me see
Right.
what I can do. So that's a plus. But apart from that, man, I just I gave it a go, but you know what
Yep.
it's like sometimes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
coming out of the other end of lockdown and all, does it feel like you're kind of entering in a new uncharted world?
Yeah, I guess so. Just kind of realizing that all that kind of stuff is a possibility
Right.
is strange. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, and just who knows when you're going to be able to go in. It's a weird one. Like we've never had to deal with.
Yep.
So it's I don't know because you know I mean, with the internet our world's expanding all the time, but then at the same time now it's physically you're restrained to like this little island. So it's just kind of there's a bit of a juxtaposition I guess with those two ideas and
Well, I mean,
yeah
I do a
it's a
lot of
weird one. You
interviews
got to
with
figure
people all over the state or all over the world, and it seems like if we're going to be stuck somewhere, this is the place to be. So that's not a bad thing.
yeah no you're right yeah
So,
right
but it's got to be
but
frustrating for a band like
the
you
only funny
guys.
thing I
You
guess
got a
is like
record coming out, and you're like dying to play it to as many people as possible, right?
yeah of course I think we will probably end up saving money though because every time we go overseas we don't make anything.
I think that's a common story. I'm afraid there's no more money to be made in music these days, but
we would
we're all doing it for the love,
probably
right?
do this stuck here.